What's up, guys?
What's up?
Welcome back to the Dogghouse podcast.
Welcome back, guys. What's up?
We are super excited to be here this week. I'm your host, Emma, joined by my co-host,
Rob. What's up?
So this week, we have something new for you. Surprise, surprise.
Ooh, what do we have?
We are super excited to be talking about this topic. We are going to be talking about why we chose entrepreneurship.
That is a great topic, by the way.
Yes, we consider ourselves entrepreneurs, and we are just going to be talking a little bit about our personal entrepreneurship journeys and our personal definitions of what we think entrepreneurship really means. And we are super excited to get into it. So,
Stoked.
Just going to jump right in. Rob, heard through the grapevine that you have a pretty specific personal definition of entrepreneurship. I think we'd love to hear it.
That's very interesting, Emma, because I do, in fact, have a personal Oxford level dictionary definition of entrepreneurship. Matter of fact, I have it written down right here. I'm just going to go ahead and read it.
Let's hear it.
So this comes from a culmination of kind of my whole life being exposed to certain different forms of entrepreneurship, becoming more interested in it, and having my own takes at this point. So entrepreneurship to me means implementing new ideas in a way that requires an above average level of risk and the possible outcome of an above average level of reward. Now, what do you think about that definition, Emma, right off the bat?
Well, Rob, right off the bat, I really personally identify with that definition of entrepreneurship.
Right.
I think you hit it right on the spot, honestly.
Thank you.
Especially the part about implementing new ideas. I think that that's something that goes into my personal definition as well. Kind of pioneering something.
Right.
What do you have that's unique to offer? That's a big part of entrepreneurship for me.
And to go right along with that, and thank you, by the way, I was, not going to lie, pretty proud of this definition because
Pretty fire.
Implementing new ideas, pioneering, like Emma said, and then this next part I say requires an above average level of risk. And to me, that's another huge part of the equation.
Absolutely.
Being willing to take on that above average level of risk with the possible outcome being an above average level of return or reward. Like I was saying, risk, being willing to take that risk. Emma, let's talk about what that looks like and what that kind of means to you, honestly.
Yeah, taking risks and being willing to take those risks for the possibility of a greater reward is also a big part of my personal definition of entrepreneurship. I think that taking big risks to me means just making big money moves, and it
honestly
means sorry, that's a little bit
hey
that's, I think you know what I'm trying to say.
That's a great way to put it, like, in my opinion.
I feel like it's making big decisions, making changes in your life. It is honestly truly committing to whatever it is you're going after and doing everything that it takes to follow through on that commitment, whatever it takes, whatever change it takes in your life, whatever big decisions you have to make, just being willing to do all of that.
No, 100%. That's what an above average level of risk looks like. It's not risk in the sense of Las Vegas gambling odds. Mm-hmm. That's a misconception, in my opinion, a very big one. Honestly, one I used to believe that risk and odds, and it was all just a gamble, roll the dice to pursue entrepreneurship, which is, like, honestly, in my opinion, a huge reason why most people might have a certain stigma about entrepreneurship and fully pursuing something in that realm. What would you say?
I would 100% agree with that. I think that I honestly had that stigma for a long time. Yeah. And I think this leads really well into kind of my earlier experiences with entrepreneurship.
Ooh,
just because I was kind of stuck in that mindset for years.
No, yeah. Let's talk about our earliest exposures to entrepreneurship, which we didn't know was entrepreneurship at the time, by the way. But let's jump into that.
Yeah, exactly. So when I was younger, I was never really set on a career. Like at a young age, there was nothing I was like really dying to do. I don't think. Nothing super enticed me.
I mean,
and
you were a kid, man.
I was a kid.
Anybody, but
exactly.
But truly, I do feel you on that point.
Yeah. But as I got a little bit older and started to do more writing, I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed creating stories with my words. And the earliest thing that I remember truly wanting to be was an author. And the reasoning behind me wanting to be an author was I really wanted to make a book that would be a bestseller, that so many people would read and be impacted by my stories and my words. And that's something that I really wanted. I didn't realize at the time that that was a big trait in being an entrepreneur, like
right.
wanting to make that impact and have your own product that like really can change people. Anyways, I didn't realize that connection at the time because I was still behind the stigma that being an entrepreneur meant trying to start a business based on an idea
right.
you had and taking a risk, and basically odds are like 1 in a million that this
right,
business will succeed. Anyways.
Ooh, quick tangent on that. Honestly, the way it was explained to me, maybe not explained to me, but the way the general consensus, the way everyone sort of felt about it truly was like, oh, do you know how many small businesses fail within the first year? And they would throw those sort of percentages around, me trying to be like, think more realistic, right?
Yeah, just be realistic. I've always been a super logical person, so
right.
at a young age I didn't really realize, but that was just my logical, realistic brain talking and telling me, don't take that risk.
Right.
There's no chance you're going to get a reward.
But to highlight the flip side of that, you, without realizing, were having an entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah, for sure.
To put it that way, like you were having an idea for a story, a new idea that you wanted to implement in a format that would be available to the market. That's the whole essence, in my opinion. So like kind of paralleling Emma's experience, like we tend to do, entrepreneurship for me also started at a young age. The concept, I was exposed to entrepreneurship when I was around 8 years old, and one of my third grade projects was I had to invent something and present it to the class. And from then on, for the next few years, I wanted to be an inventor when I grew up, because to me, there was nothing cooler than being the one to create the new things, to present the new things.
Who doesn't want to make cool stuff for people?
Right. That just really sparked my attention at a young age. And sort of like Emma was saying, my personality was geared for entrepreneurship in a way. Creative, logical. You got to be logical and reasonable, and then that drive, that desire, it's hard to put into words, honestly, but like the need almost to put out things for everybody to see, to create new things. Honestly,
I feel like that drive has always been in both of us, and there have been points in my life where I haven't felt it quite as much. Sure. But especially now, just putting stuff out there consistently, I feel like it's kind of back in me, and it feels like just a part of who I am, and a big reason why that being an entrepreneur is so important to me now.
I think, yeah, a good way to put it is like we just naturally gravitated towards things, activities, ideas that were in line with entrepreneurship and that style of thinking. That's a good way I would put it, honestly. And to kind of like take it from that earlier age to where we are now, let's talk about sort of entrepreneurship and why we're choosing to continue to be entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. So we have both had experiences that have helped us change our mindset on entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
And kind of turn that around into more of a positive thing.
Right.
And unfortunately, we do see a lot of adults and people our age kind of taking the safe route and viewing entrepreneurship as kind of impossible, and just a little bit sad to see, because that's not how we feel at all.
That's a big point. If you don't mind, I'm going to touch on this because...
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like, just like Emma said, it's becoming clear through our experiences we naturally fit with entrepreneurship, and that's clearly the way to go to us.
100%.
Now, young adults my age, Emma's age, maybe more my age, because I'm going to flex. I'm a senior in college again, but being a senior in college means me and my peers are getting close to graduating, and everyone around me is picking a career, wanting to do an internship, the whole 9 yards, right? It's all the opposite direction I'm wanting to go with starting my own business, doing my own thing, taking my entrepreneurial journey. And I just think it's very, very, I don't know how to say it, but I'll put it like this. People have the wrong idea about entrepreneurship. Everyone, when it comes down to it, graduation.
When it really comes down to it,
they will
how
jump
many of
in.
what percentage of your graduating class is jumping into an internship or a career
medical
path?
School, or I would say it's okay. In my classes I'm in now, it feels like 95+%.
That sounds about right to me.
It's definitely understandable, and I'm not saying people are wrong for having that mindset. Sorry to run on this tangent, but I feel very strongly about this.
I do too.
This is just my opinion. However, I would like to explain it. People just have a misconception that it's not possible.
Yeah.
That it would be stupid to like bank on that. Essentially, is to put it in plain terms. But I just think that's totally baseless to assume. And kind of what I was getting at earlier in the episode, all the Vegas odds stuff. But I think it's the mindset and sort of that when it comes down to it, okay, what's the safest possible option? Most people are in that and can't make those quick turnaround decisions.
Yes, it's all about being really quick on your feet and not being afraid, because there is a little bit of risk, but it's not impossible.
It's calculated risk. It's
calculated risk. Like, businesses obviously succeed. Like, there's a chance. It's not impossible. Yeah, I completely agree. So this is going to seem just a little bit random, but you're going to see how this comes together in a second. Neither of us stuck with any sports in high school. We're not super big people.
Not really. I mean, we both were athletic, and we both did participate in different sports throughout. Yes. But
here and there.
We were never
committed or the sports guy or the sports family. Right. But we were always super competitive people.
So competitive. We wanted to win, though.
We've always wanted to win.
Yeah.
So we've actually found kind of a sport equivalent that we think has fit that bill pretty well for us, and it just happens to be,
if you haven't guessed by now, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I view that as the ultimate game.
The ultimate game of entrepreneurship.
The big leagues, the pros, all in one arena. And truly, I get really excited. I know you probably feel the same way.
I get so excited.
So excited thinking about getting to play my favorite sport in a way. Like you were saying, like entrepreneurship is so... It can be whatever you put into it. It can be what that is.
Exactly. It's about strategy. It's about plan. Right. It's about effort. It's teamwork.
Yeah. It takes that championship level mindset and mentality of pro sports to win in business and entrepreneurship. I truly believe that.
Absolutely.
And it's just a super fun way to view it as well. So
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about kind of entrepreneurship and why we've chosen to stick with it. Let me state it and wrap it up for you guys here. It's because we believe it's possible to take on a above average level of risk, because we believe fully that the above average level of reward is fully obtainable, and it fully depends on your level of commitment, strategizing, your willingness to play the game, essentially.
Absolutely. We believe that if you have something truly unique to offer and you're willing to take that risk, that you will get a reward. And we're just big believers in that, and big believers in entrepreneurship in general.
And we're just getting started on our entrepreneurial journeys.
For sure.
We just have so many ideas and so much we want to do, and we just haven't gone and taken it all the way, but we are still so excited, and that's why we wanted to talk about it with you guys, just to hear how we feel about it. This is an important one for me and for Emma as well.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's episode.
This has been episode 12 of the Doghouse. Tune in every Thursday for a new episode.
And go ahead and follow us on our social media if you haven't yet.
But we'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.
Peace.